Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from 6 group. There are Jihan Nabila, Rapena Ofelia, and me, Mutiara Hazanah. We want to present about manner of articulation. Here are the table of contents. First, the English consonant. Second, why we should learn manner of articulation. The third, what is manner of articulation. The fourth, type of manner of articulation. Let's talk about the English consonant. Consonants are sounds that are with the articulator more or less close. That is, they are produced with a close articulation, going from completely together to only approximating. Consonant sounds are classified according to three dimensions. The first, voicing. The second, place of articulation. The third, manner of articulation. Jadi, konsonan diklasifikasi menurut cara mereka diproduksi. Deskripsi artikulator untuk setiap konsonan mencakup 3 bagian, yaitu suara, tempat artikulasi, dan cara berartikulasi. Okay, let's talk about why we should learn manner of articulation. Manner of articulation is the how of making sound. Manner of articulation in second language learning is important because pronunciation doesn't come as natural as when learning our first language. It is important to know how sounds are made so that you can pronounce sound correctly and speak more clearly. Jadi, manner of articulation adalah bagaimana membuat suara. Manner of articulation dalam pembelajaran bahasa itu sangat penting karena pengucapan tidak datang secara alami. Penting untuk mengetahui bagaimana suara dibuat sehingga Anda dapat mengucapkan suara dengan benar dan berbicara dengan lebih jelas. Let's move to the what is manner of articulation. Manner of articulation is the how of making sound, as we know that. When learning our first language, we don't usually think about how we make the sound we do. We just reproduce what we've heard over the first few years of our life. We make the sound without thinking how our mouth, how our tongue and teeth are doing, unless we need the additional support of speech therapy. Jadi di sini tuh ada bahasa pertama dan bahasa kedua, second language, first language. Itu maksudnya adalah kalau bahasa pertama itu bahasa pokok, bahasa yang tiap hari Anda gunakan, yang tiap hari kita gunakan. Misalkan Anda sering menggunakan atau dari kecil memang menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Terus, pas Anda beranjak sekolah, Anda mulai mempelajari bahasa Inggris, dan bahasa Inggris merupakan second language. Oleh karena itu, berarti first language Anda adalah Indonesia, second language Anda adalah Inggris. Bisa juga first language Anda misalkan di rumahnya sering menggunakan bahasa Sunda. Terus, pas masuk sekolah dasar, terus SMP, SMA, Anda menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Nah, berarti first language Anda bahasa Sunda dan second language Anda bahasa Indonesia. Manner of articulation is second language learning is important because pronunciation doesn't come as natural as when learning our first language. Jadi manner of articulation itu penting karena pronunciation, pengucapan itu tidak datang secara natural. It's important to know how sounds are made so that you can pronounce sound correctly and speak more clearly. In articulatory phonetic, the manner of articulation is the configuration and interaction of the articulators or speech organ like tongue, lips, and palate. When making a speech sound, one parameter of manner is stricter, that is, how closely the speech organ approach one another. Another include those involved in the R like sound, taps, and trills. and the sibilancy of fricative. Jadi, manner of articulation itu menggambarkan bagaimana lidah, bibir, rahang, dan organ bicara lainnya terlibat dalam membuat suara. Like when we say long or late, kita membunyikan dengan lidah kita yang menyentuh langit-langit.
Hello everyone, my name is Ravena Pelia, and here I want a presentation about types of manner articulation. In simple terms, manner of articulation is something we study in articulatory phonetics as the interaction of articulators. Articulator are speech organs like the tongue and lips or the palate. Thus, when we make a sound, it is with the help of the movement of these articulators. And the manner in which they move according to the manner of articulation, consonants falls into the following group of types. Number 1 is stop or plosive. A stop sound or plosive sounds are a result of blocking of the oral vocal tract, and thus there is no nasal air flow involved as the air stops completely. It can be classified in two categories, of voice sounds and of voiceless sounds. If the consonant is voiced, then the sound made is during the occlusion or blockade. While if it's voiceless sound, then the stop is completely silent. We build pressure of air and then release it. This is a sudden burst of air. Example of stop include p, b, s, d, k, and g. Take a look at stop in these words. Initial sound p for pig, b for bag, t for towel, d for dad, K for kick, and G for girl. 2. Affricate. An affricate is a consonant characterized as having both a affricate and a stop manner of production. The sound produced by sticking the left of the tongue against the hard roof of the mouth, opposed to the upper teeth. There are 2 affricate phonemes in English, to and to. If you think of the word crunch, notice that you begin the sound with the plosive t, but that this is immediately followed by a fricative s sound. In the case of to, think of the word judge, say the letter D and the letter G alternatively on after the other. The both begin with the same formation of the tone. The difference is that the J sound is the G is extended with affricate S sound again to make sound of the D in the word judge, judge. Example include to and to. Affricate start with a stop and then transition into affricative. Initial sound t for chip, t for just. Final sounds t for chat, t for badge. 3. Flaps. Flap, also called tap, is when there is momentary closure of the oral cavity. In this, our tongue briefly touches the alveolar ridge, thus producing the flap. A simple example would be the sound of t when we pronounce uter and d when we say uter. Thus, they can be voices or voiceless.
Hello everyone, my name is Jihana Bila. I would like to continue the material from Ravena, that's it, the type of manner of articulation. Here we go. Number 4 is fricative. We stop part of the air so it can come through everywhere. Is it a stream of air? Imagine a river of water flowing. Then imagine putting a large of rock in the center of the river. The flow of the water will change because of the large rock, but the water will still flow around it. This is a strong description of what a fricative sound is formed. There is a flowing river of air, and you partially block it with your tongue, teeth, and lips. Sounds include F, V, S, H, Z, V, and S. Okay. Or fricatives are consonants that let out air slowly between a small space, usually making hissing or buzzing sounds. Hissing sound is a we speak without vibrating. Sedangkan kalau misalnya buzzing itu we do a vibrating. Nah, karena tadi kan ada F, V, jadi yang hissing itu termasuknya ke F. Jadi F, F. Sedangkan kalau kita bilang V itu kan ada vibrasi di sininya. V, V, gitu. Nah, kalau untuk contohnya, for the example is final sounds itu half. For V, F itu half, and then for V is have. For S itu has, and for Z is has. Sedangkan untuk H, this sound doesn't occur at the end of words in English, it occurs in the beginning or middle of English word gitu. Jadi nggak ada di akhir ya. Kalau misalnya untuk ini, untuk huruf H atau H. Terus kalau misalnya untuk S atau contohnya itu kayak wash, wash. Kalau untuk Z itu contohnya kayak rouge, gitu kan. Nah, biasanya this sounds at the final position is rare. It usually occurs in the middle of English word. Biasanya tuh ada di tengah gitu. Dan yang dua terakhir itu ada bath, bath, dan bath gitu. Terus kalau untuk di awal for initial word itu F for. Nah, itu nggak menggunakan vibrasi ya. Sedangkan kalau misalnya menggunakan vibrasi itu, atau kita ambil contoh dari huruf V itu ada then. You can touch your throat. Your throat. Nah, kalau untuk S itu ada sun. Terus kalau untuk Z itu ada zip. Kalau H itu hello. Dan kalau untuk sh itu ada ship. Okay, next. Number 5 is nasal. In nasal sound, there is a blockage of the oral tract and their air passes through the nose. The shape and position in which our tongue is determine the resonant cavity, which in turn give nasal sounds their characteristic. Or nasal is sounds we make with a nose. Itu simpelnya ya. Terus huruf-hurufnya itu yang ada di nasal itu, example include M, N, and Okay, the first one is M. Jadi kita saat mengucapkan huruf M itu bibir dua-duanya tertutup. Gitu. Nah, contoh dari M ini, the example of the M ini gitu adalah moon. Next, untuk N itu meletakkan lidah di belakang gigi, the bottom of tooth, di dua gigi. N atau na. Nah, contohnya kayak nap. Tuh, yang terakhir itu ada Nah, biasanya ini tuh ada di tengah kalimat atau in the middle of word. Contohnya kayak think, atau hungry gitu. Nah, yang terakhir itu ada approximant atau approximant are consonant sounds that almost block airflow from the mouth, but not quite. So, we end up getting some sounds coming out of our nose and out of our mouth. Therefore, approximant from phonetic are L atau U. Contohnya, the example of L itu adalah is let's or left. Next is R atau dibacanya er. Contohnya, the example is rare or rabbit or rabbit. Nah, terus H tapi dibacanya itu yang kayak Y, huruf Y bunyinya itu ya. Contohnya yellow, yellow, U. Yang terakhir W atau dibacanya the last W, we can read like wolf. The example is wolf, walk, wolf, walk. Okay, that's enough. That's all we can convey. Sorry if there are any shortcomings in our pronunciation. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.